Well, finally got a bite here. See what this is all about here. That spread on board jerked back pretty good there. Let's see what we got here. Maybe our first fish for the day. Like I said, I don't have to take this clip off, but I'm gonna do it. I don't feel it pulling on it like I felt before, so it probably got off. Hopefully not. I don't have that jerking motion going on that I felt before. Yeah, it got off. It freed itself. Took too long. Took a little bit too long. And he was definitely there. Look at all the slime he left me. Man, he was teed off. Look at that. When they leave that slime on there, brother, he was hooked, but not hooked good enough. So we're gonna rebait and try this over again. Big old glob, but leave me alone. Okay, hopefully this is some different action. Something is really pulling on my, hopefully we got one this time. Yeah, he's on there. Oh, she's on there. Somebody's on there. I got the trolling motor going, but man, this wind. Man, that bad boy don't want to come in. Oh, yes, it's a good one. You know, I'm not moving at all. The trolling motor is going, but I'm not moving anywhere. I'm just going out, across. Take this drag up a little bit more. There we go. This time, I'm gonna just take off that front clip. Oh yeah, this is a good one. This one is a good one. May not be able to take off any of it. But we're gonna release this front clip. Oh yeah, that's a good one. We're gonna let that go. And we're just gonna reel everything in all at once. Bring it in all together. And this is a good one. See that board out there with him. Walk back here and get this net. Keep some tension on it. I think it got it in the other line too. Yep, sure did. I have a mess here for a second. We're gonna deal with the mess. Because this is a good fish. Move this over here. Hopefully I can get out of that. Get out of this tanglement. No, I can't. I think this one here swallowed the hook too. Go back under here. See what we can do here. I think this one has also swallowed this hook. Oh, that's a nice one. I think he freed himself of that mine. I don't have to worry about him getting off. It look like he swallowed the hook. I almost look like a flathead, even though it's not. And this got to be a 10-pounder. Need to get him a little closer. He may be a little bit more than 10 pounds. He's got a lot of head on him, so it has to be a male. This is definitely a male. Get him in the boat here. That's a nice one. Nice. Get rid of all this hardware. That one there caused a little mess here. Nothing we can't figure out. And as far as me, oh, okay, I am drifting out from the water column further than I think. So, yep, swallowed that hook. This is definitely a male. Let him rest a minute. Hey, you getting me wet. This got to be a 10-pound catfish. Pretty big. Look at him. Trying to think he's going somewhere. But that hook, he took it down. So I'm going to pause for a second here and do what I need to do to remove this hook so I can get started again. May have another catfish here. This will be number 2. I'm not drifting, I'm not trolling, I'm just spot locked. I was just going to check this after I got through retying my hook that the 10-pounder decided to keep and wouldn't give it back up to me. It's a small one though. But it's a fish, right? Don't have the fight that other one just had. But it's a fish. That'd be number 2. This will be number 2. Yeah, they loving that shad today. So, of course, this one swallowed my hook. When they're that deep, I'm not going to get that hook out of there. So, I'm going to have to pause again. I'm sure one reason that I'm catching these fish, or the one I just caught, there is some waves on the water. There is some bouncing. So that bait is actually on the bottom. And when the water hits the boat, it's rocking it, which is lifting the bait off the bottom. And of course, you get a strike. Who would have thought that all I had to do was stay in this spot? Because I had seen that earlier on the back rod and ignored it, thinking, it's just bouncing. But they're not grabbing it to pull the rod down. They're just bap, 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 bap. So now I'm gonna have to pay more attention to that when I see that tip bouncing on that rod. So I'm gonna reel that one in on the back. In fact, both of them, and rebait those. Okay, I changed up my operation here. What I'm doing now, I'm gonna put 2 planing boards on my starboard side. We are taking on a headwind. See how this works? So of course I got 2 on this side. I'm gonna reel this one in on the back, place it towards the back, and put a planer board on that one. So right now we got 2 on the starboard side, and we're gonna rig up another one and let it operate towards the back, because I know it's gonna go to the port side. That's the way I have it set up, and we're gonna see what success we have doing it that way. Because I'm going back across the area where these other 2 came from, so I'm going back towards the inlet. I got a ways to go, and for some reason now it seems like the wind is trying to pick up, which is good. But we're gonna see what these 2 planing boards do for us. So I'm gonna go back here on the back, reel this one in, and then I'm gonna eat some lunch and hopefully get some action. Well, I have a drift. I've been trolling every bit of 300 yards, and I think I just got a hit out there on that pink one. So let's go over and check that one out. And that should be this one. I just saw that jerk. It just pulled backwards. When they pull backwards, that's a fish strike. It's not pulling anymore. And sometimes, even though it pulls back and it doesn't do it again, doesn't mean that they're not on there. I'm also looking for some rod action on the tip. When I see it jerks back and forth like that, it'll go back and forth in a rapid motion. It just did it. It could be that it did strike and it released it. But we're gonna find out here for sure in 1 minute. I just came across a big wake, boat wake. It's kind of throwing everything off. The trolling motor is readjusting to its headed position. Be disappointing to know that the bait is gone on that one. So let's just go ahead and reel this one in and see what's up with it. It's pretty stiff. It may be on there. Yeah, I think he's on there. Either that or I'm out there in that strong current. But I think the fish is on here. Nah. Kind of hard to tell. Because I'm still trolling as I'm pulling this in. I don't feel a pullback, but I do have resistance. Again, the resistance is coming because I'm reeling this in and trolling at the same time. And what I do is I hold it like that, and I don't feel anything pulling back against it. And definitely having it at this point, there's no resistance. Nah, there's nothing on there. Go back beneath here. If something's on there, man, it's got to be small, but I don't think it is. Oh, I'm pulling my other line. That's why. Now, take a second to figure this out. There we go. That's that line on that back, and that just felt like something is on that one. Because that one don't have a planer board on it. That's just free floating. That's just dragging at the bottom. So let's go back there and check that out. There are a few more boulders out here than it was earlier. So they are starting to show up, but it's not like it was last weekend. Nothing. I'm actually going towards this shoreline, then I'm going to turn around and go back out. I got a little maze going here today. What I try to do is keep the coolers out of the sun. That one has ice in it, along with my lunch and cold water. This one I use now for the bait and for the fish if I decided to take them out the live well. Today being as cool as it is, it's not hot, no humidity. Man, it's a beautiful day to be out. But I wish the fish pick up. Here, fishy, fishy. I guess I'm gonna have to call them. So the fish call goes like this. Here, fishy, fishy. Here, fish. Come and get it. I'm just checking out that planer board on this port side. When I reel this in and my bait's still there, I got to find that hole. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go a little bit closer to that shoreline that's out that distance. I'm about, almost 300 yards away. And then I'm gonna make a U-turn and I'm gonna go more to my port side this time and then go back out beyond this flat. So let me see, do I want to go ahead and reel in? For some reason, can't figure it out and I won't figure it out. It's rare for me to get a bite on that rod and reel setup on this port side. Can't put my finger on it. Everything always comes from the starboard side. Even on the back end, it comes from the starboard side. Maybe because it's a star. Get it? Starboard. Kind of corny. Yeah, I'm just paying attention to that planer board. Here, fishy. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. So, again, I have my heading set at north. And all that's doing is keeping me on a straight path, even though I am headed north. I mean, this is set by GPS. So this iPilot is actually set on GPS, and I am facing north, and I am going north. So by me having the remote set at north, it's going to keep me on the straight line, and it's taking me magnetic north. So I'm going true north right now. Man, that breeze feels good. Can't suffer today. You know, the fish were biting when it was much hotter, more humidity. So I guess you got to trade off one for the other. You can't have it all. But it is what it is. A lot of sailboaters out today. And again, as I said before in a previous video, if you see sailboaters out, that means you got a good wind. And I did find that I did have a good push when I was further out into the lake. And now my planer board here is catching up to me. For some reason, I'm turning. So we're gonna turn back to so that planer board back there can get back where it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be hanging out over here with me. I knew I was off course somewhat because that planer board came against the boat, or planed, or was parallel with the boat instead of being out there where it's supposed to be. It was forecasted that the wind speed today would be about 5 miles an hour. I think it's a little bit more than 5. It could be a 9-ish. I even give it a 10. I know when I get further out into the lake, in that opening, it's definitely a 10. So like I said, I'm gonna work my way towards this shoreline, and then we're gonna make a U-turn, and we're gonna go back out. I think my iPilot here know I was catching fish before when I got this close in, because it's taking me in the same direction. What I got to lose? I'm not losing bait today because the bait's still there. And for the bait to be still there, it's either one or two things. I know for sure, I'm almost positive that the big spawn is over with. Now you have to seek and search these catfish. They're not just schooled up all that, together. Once that spawn is over with, hey, they disperse. Everybody on their own. I used to do a lot of night fishing, thinking that was the answer to catching all these catfish, until I started actually drifting and trolling. And it's a good method because you're not in one spot. You're moving around, and you may come across that catfish. You know, that one that's hungry. And that being the case, you may have a partner not too far behind. But I know they're more dispersed now. Because at some time in point, I was catching 2 at a time. Not on the same rod and reel, of course, but 2 different rods. I get 2 strikes, 1, 2, and it was on. Now it's like, find me if you can, hide and seek. Simon says, find me if you can. If you can, you get to catch me. I'm gonna disable my fish locator. I don't need it. I'm actually tracking my path just in case I get good strikes in one zone, and then I know exactly what to do. I just set the trolling motor back to trace where I just left, and it'll take me exactly across that same course all over again. but I'm drowning my bait today. So come on, fish. Let's pick up the pace. I've been bragging on you. You gotta get them while the going is good. Now, come late September. September is kind of like a slow month. September is that type of month where you catch fish and then you don't catch fish. Depends on the heat and humidity. If you get in this water, man, if this water gets warm, I didn't even check the temperature today. If it gets warm, those fish gonna go down. As far as catching them, maybe. Right now, looking at this fish finder, it's telling me that the water temperature is 82.2. I'm over 12 and a half foot of water at this moment. So I'm gonna get a little closer to that shoreline and I'm gonna make a U-turn. I'm also getting ready to pause for a minute. And eventually, so that I can get better videos, right now I'm using a phone. I need a GoPro, something where I can continue my videos without pausing and all that other stuff, you know, pick up where I left off. Because with this phone, it's okay, but it eats up so much memory of on your phone. Now I got some wave runners that want to come past. They've been out here racing today. Quite a few jet skiers out here today, or wave runners. But as far as the fish go, I know there's one good pathway that I really, really want to take. Man, I have a huge wave coming towards me. It's gonna be a minute. Oh, okay, I see why. There's a family out there skiing. And man, when they ski, they create some wake because of the fact you got that person on that back end digging deep in the water, and then you got the propeller from the motor that's pulling all that weight. So yes, it'll be here in a few seconds. This is gonna be a nice wave too. Maybe this will create some more action and get these fish activated. I want to see if you can see this wave as it's coming towards me. You always hear me mention it, but man, to see it come at you. And I think I'm gonna take a seat on this one. Yeah, you should be able to see that. See how deep that is? You'll get that when somebody's skiing. Let's see if that wake up these fish. Make them see my planer board and what's dragging behind it. Now that wake from that boat will keep on going until it hits something at the shoreline, and then it'll ricochet off and then go back out and it'll go back. First it hits the shore, bounce back out, go back and forth until it dies down. But here it comes, and this is a big chop. So like I said, yep, this is gonna be a good rocker. That's a deep swell. You get this on the Mississippi River. When you get those people with those yachts, they create the wake like this also. But their swell is a little deeper than this. This is deeper. Don't get me wrong. This swell right now is deep. But those yachts on that river, as they do in Lake of the Ozark, which I don't go to the Lake of the Ozark just for that reason, I know I wouldn't fish comfortable. This boat would handle it, but just to be saying a boat can handle it, that wouldn't be any fun. It's good to be able to handle any situation in any type of boat when you're on the water. But come on, fish. You're supposed to bid. I supposed to got a strike on that one. Can't believe I didn't get a strike. So that tells me these fish have dispersed. They're not grouped up again anymore like they were. They said, you're going to work for me, buddy. We're not just going to give you our family. And then you go brag about it, taking photos. I think I got a strike on that one. Let's go up here and check that out. That tip was really bouncing just a second ago. But nothing is happening with the planer board. I would love to see that planer board just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But it's not doing it. So there's nothing on that one. This line here that's just dragging the bottom, nothing happening. And of course, this one on this port side, same old action, nothing. I'm getting close to where I'm gonna make a U-turn here. And I'm gonna more go to the port side and then I'm gonna go back out. But that'll give me an opportunity also to rebait. But I'd be surprised if I reel in and my bait's still there. If the bait's still there, that's not a good sign. You know it's not a good sign, and I don't have any bait. And that's normally what happens. When you're drifting, you get those deep swells like that. A lot of things can happen. Mainly, you're gonna lose your bait because it's so much pull against what you're doing. Plus, you going forward, all that bouncing and pulling the bait. You know, it's not like it's a tough bait, it's a soft bait. It'll break it loose from that hook. I'm gonna go ahead and reel these in, and then I'm gonna make a U-turn. You know, my hope was that something would have pulled back, gave me some resistance to let me know, hey, I'm on here, don't do too much, don't get too crazy here. But that wasn't the case. Oh, I got one on there. I knew when I saw that pull back that there should have been something on there. And this is too far forward. I should have known the fish was on here. And I took it for granted. But here he comes. Let's get the net. We know it's not going anywhere because it's been on there for a second. But now it wants to give me a fight. Like I said, when I saw that jerk back and forth like I did, I should have checked it and reeled it in because this was so far in front of the boat. It wasn't in the back. Come on, fishy. Here I'm saying fishy, and fish was already here. Come on up. Let me see you. This is a nice one. That's why I was so far forward. Oh yeah, this is a nice one. Another big one. Another 10-pounder. Yeah, I get that 10. That's another 10-pounder. Huh. Go figure, huh? Oh, good. Didn't swallow the hook this time. Get this way you can see it. Because this one did not swallow the hook. And it's barely hooked in the lip here. So we're going to take this pliers, hold on to that end. Because I'm going to tell you, you get hooked. And it's out. I give this one 8 pounds. Either way it goes, it's a fish, right? You know what this one's gonna do? This one's gonna act all goofy and stupid on me. Because it's know it's going in that live well. It's gonna join its family. Here, stand back here for a minute. Now, that fish can take off and go right through that opening. And then I'm gonna be like, darn, played around with you too long. So to keep from playing around too much longer, we're gonna just pick it up. It's got a wide head on it. There you go. What I tell you. So let me grab this with the rag, because that fish finned me to the point where it's not so much as the fin. Now, I got the grip. Look at that belly. Look at that. Got something in there. So in the live well it goes. Stuck me right there somewhere. I feel it stinging. That's what happens when you play around with them too long. So the boat's still on spot lock. You got to rinse this net out, because if I don't, later on it'll have that fishy smell to it. So right when I think that I got some type of push from the breeze, it hits, then it disappears, and now I'm gonna have to go back to the trolling motor. Right when I thought I was getting ready to get into something good here, it's gonna have to be trolling motor. It is what it is. I know if you sit still, boy, you'll feel that sun is not as cool as you think it is if you're sitting still. So let's go back doing it the old-fashioned way. We're gonna let that planing board there pull around to where it needs to be. I'm drifting on, I'm actually trolling. I don't know why I keep saying drifting. I'm so used to drifting. I'm going to a certain spot here. And then we let it take over. What I'm doing right now, I'm just doing these two planer boards, and I'm gonna let or allow the boat to do a slow turn, so I can go over to the area that I'm trying to make it to, and then we're going to head back out into the main body of the lake. Don't get me wrong, this water where I'm at is deep. Anything whereas your feet cannot touch the bottom, it's deep water. Because you get out in this water, you had to swim and you got fatigued. And oh man, you'll find out then that it's deep. Even that 10 foot is deep. Like I said, you gotta respect water. So now I'm gonna let this troll straight across until I get to a certain point, and then I'm gonna make a port turn and head on out towards the wider body. Then I throw out those other rods.